All right, we're live. Hello, welcome everybody to the record show or the vinyl collection or looking through the vinyl shelves, whatever this is called. Looking through the This is episode 14. What a long, windy road this has been. We started off just me looking through the old record shelves, seeing what I had, seeing what's in there, and working our way from Z all the way down to A. I've gotten through it all. Now I'm going through recent pickups, unopened pieces of vinyl, things I've picked up within the last year or so. Some things are unopened for like 4 years. We're finally getting to, so some excitement happening on this show. And of course, along the way, I do have the vinyl pundits are here. Very exciting. As always, we have Matt Big Bandy and Kevin from Buried on Mars. There they are.
Hello, hello.
4 years? You've had records for 4 years that you haven't opened?
Maybe.
How is that possible?
It's how posers pose, man.
Posers got to pose.
Now, you see, I kind of thought maybe I shouldn't be honest about it, but I'm being honest. I'm telling you.
You got to be honest.
I found one that was 4 years old that was unopened. And you can look for that on an unboxing video on this channel in the future, folks. Look for that. Look for that. It's a very special episode.
Did you just forget about it, or you just never got to it?
Yeah, it would have been forgotten about for sure. Yeah, something you just had to have, and then you forget about. So, Kevin, how are you doing, buddy?
Super fantastic. Ready to be here.
In the dark lair again, looking good.
Yep.
Okay, Matt Bandy, what have you been up to?
Just working, taking care of the fam.
Okay,
buying records, listening.
I missed the climbing wall behind you, but we'll deal with.
I got a house full today, so I'm back in my bedroom at the moment. So hopefully it's, towards the end of those last records, I got a little, I had to get on the the mute button.
Yeah, so, they were good. Especially you both of you guys, big stars on the internet, appeared on Cartridge Club Portable's final episode ever.
Yep.
Well, final, I wouldn't go so far to call it final just yet. I think Kevin made some good arguments to Curtis to keep it going a little bit. Not fully give it the axe, but hopefully it's not the final episode.
For sure. Yeah, it was good seeing you guys on there.
Yeah.
Using the format that is trail has been blazed.
Yeah. Thank you, Lotus.
Some say on this channel, the trail has been blazed on this channel.
Lotus did an excellent job getting us all on board. Amazing.
I did want to introduce we have a caller already. I want to let people know that the chat is open. We do talk to the chat, say hello, we interact with you, and the link to get into this show is also in the chat if you wanted to call in. But okay, I think he's ready. It was bobbing in and out, so let's get the caller in right away. Caller, who are you and where are you calling from?
Oh, what?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh, it's Chris Roberts.
Yeah, I don't know how good this is. I'm on my phone.
That's good to me. You're always good, buddy.
Right on. Yeah, I'm on the road. We're in San Francisco right now. I'm down at the harbor checking out stuff, I guess. So it's pretty cool because there's nobody here. Chalk one up for the COVID, right?
There you go. Bonus.
Yeah, it's awesome. I don't know if I can turn my camera
good,
around.
buddy.
Oh yeah, well, it's getting there. It's not as good as yours, Bandy. But come on.
Well, it takes a while.
Yeah, if you look real hard, I don't know if you can squint. There's Alcatraz right there. I don't know if you guys ever seen that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's back there somewhere. Anyways, I don't have no albums. I just wanted to say hi. That's it.
Well, It was great seeing our roving correspondent, Chris Roberts, showing up first thing.
If I find out any records or any record-related items, I'll call back in the show.
Right on. Pop back in.
All right on. Talk to you guys later.
Okay. See you, Chris.
Love you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Man, can this show get any bigger? We just nailed down Chris Roberts right at the beginning. as he's
On
jaunting
location.
around the West Coast.
That's something else.
Jesus, what a life. What a life.
That's Die Hard right there.
Yeah.
Some people can't even be bothered to call in from their houses. He's
He
on
showed up
vacation.
in the tray, had the mask on, hat, sunglasses. I'm like, I don't know who this is. But we'll see. And then he did fill his name back in, so I wasn't too scared. But all right, guys. I still have a big pile of records. Like I said, I'm still going through miscellaneous stuff that wasn't put away. There'll be some new stuff if we get to it. And as always, I usually start off with something related to vinyl, but not quite a record. So I'm going to start with that, if you guys will indulge me. It's kind of big. This lives up in my living room, even though there's no record player in my living room presently. Still working on it. And it houses my Beatles collection. Oh, and it's a record box.
Very nice.
And this came from Third Man Records, obviously. It's a big old heavy wooden record box. I don't have enough White Stripes albums to house them in here, so the Beatles collection is in there. The lid comes off. That's supposed to happen. Don't worry. You know, wooden, made of wood.
So the lid is supposed to come off the hinges like that?
Yeah, they got little hooks on them, so you can take that off.
I see.
If you just want to, because if you're DJing, you know, you got to have quick
Right.
access to the stuff there. So
Now that's a good point about the White Stripes albums. I have never come across those at a reasonable price, if you will. Those are some expensive albums every time I see them.
yeah, for sure. This was manufactured in 2010.
Oh.
And this kind of stuff came into my local record store in Barrie, Ontario, which that kind of stuff you can only get from the Third Man stores. Chris Roberts says I'm making old man noises. It's heavy. And apparently some collector who made regular trips to Detroit was constantly buying stuff from Third Man Records in Detroit, and then just got bored of it and just started dumping all the stuff off at my record store. So, I mean, this was new in wrap. The guy bought it in Detroit, brought it home, and then, I don't know, I'll just get my ass reamed at the record store for it. And so, I don't know, but lucky me, I got one. Yeah, so that's exciting. So there's my vinyl adjacent thing to kick things off.
You
Matt
said
Bandy.
what records were in there? That was your
I
entire
have my Beatles collection.
Beatles collection. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is that an actual, like, is it built to be a carrying case, or is it more of a display piece? I couldn't really tell.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's, you know, it's what your DJs would have had, or I suppose they still use this if they bring some records to wherever. You know, it's got a carry handle made of wood. It's got the reinforced, he's making me pick it up again, reinforced corners,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a road case.
Yeah.
It's just branded White Stripes.
Yeah. I used to do a vinyl night at one of my, it was a local bar that we had we'd either one week we'd do a punk rock night, and the other night would be a soul night. So it was every other week. It would be we would switch off, and it was me and one of my best friends. We spun vinyl records there for about 3 or 4 years. It was a bi-monthly gig we did there, and yeah, so I've had many of those carrying cases, and I spun mostly 7 inches and 45, so I had kind of the smaller cases, but yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I was close to getting another one at a yard sale. It wasn't White Stripes. It was a real road vinyl case from a DJ, and it had like that that carpet they put on the side, and then the metal knuckles on the ends, and it was like numbered. It had real use, but I think the guy wanted like $75 or something from it for it. So I'm like, $7. 7? No, 75. But yeah, they're great to have if you can get some. So yeah, I can. What about Big Bandy? What's he got to start?
Well, I'm going to do another vinyl adjacent, and this is very adjacent to vinyl. So you have to bear with me with the correlation here. This is more about just things that inspired me or got me into music as well. Okay. So I'm going to show this because today I just picked up a new skateboard. I went to my local shop here in San Luis Obispo, California, and got my son a new skateboard, and I got one myself. So it's something him and I have been starting to do together. This is by Creature Skateboards. It's a skateboard company. They've been around for probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years. A lot of their artwork and boards are kind of heavy metal, horror, and kind of monster themed. And this one kind of has a cool fantasy sci-fi feel to it. But the reason I bring this up is because skateboarding was a huge influence on what music I got into and how I got into music. One of the many ways I got into music was through skateboarding. And through skate videos and through friends and skateboarding, that opened up a huge whole new world of music for me to discover and find. So thought I'd share that. Just picked this up like 3 hours ago, right before the podcast started. This was where I was. And I do have a couple records to show here to go along with kind of the skateboard theme. There's a band, I think they're from Boston, Massachusetts, but they're called Bones Brigade. And the name of this record is I Hate Myself When I'm Not Skateboarding. And so they are, I'm pretty sure these guys were from actually, they're either from Boston or Texas. I think they're from Boston. I'm just looking at the name of the guys in the band here. I think I recognize them from some other bands. But Bones Brigade was, inspiration from the group of, Tony Hawk, Tony Alva, and Steve Caballero, a couple of those other guys. It's, that was the name of their group. So I'm pretty sure that's where they got the name of it. But a lot of their kind of the song titles are Thrashin' USA, Skate or Die. So a lot of their records are, skateboard themed. So I thought I'd show this record off. It's, a really fast, thrashy, hardcore punk band. I picked this up in Chicago, just on black vinyl. I picked this up, but I think at Threshold Records, one of my favorite spots. It's no longer there, unfortunately. And just have a simple lyric sheet. Looks like it's black and white and Xeroxed on there. So with oh yeah, there's a cool Evil Dead song on here. And
sure,
yeah, I think the song starts off with the I'll swallow your soul, I'll swallow your soul. Then it goes into the song. So that is Bones Brigade. I'm not sure if they're still around. This is the only record of theirs that I have. They had a couple other records. I think maybe this might be their only full length. I know they had a few 7-inch records, but yeah, I Hate Myself When I'm Not Skateboarding. And then the other record I'm going to show here is by this band is from Boston. I know that for sure. Is a band called X-Files X. And they are a straight edge hardcore band with some kind of grind influences. It's real fast and thrashy. I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about power violence on this on the show before, but that's another subgenre of hardcore punk. They kind of fall into that category too. There is, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 38 tracks on this. They're all pretty short and fast. I believe this is side 1 is just one record, and side 2 is a compilation of a couple of their singles and 7 inches. But this band too has heavily influenced by the skateboard culture. They have a song called STD, which it stands for Skate Till Death. And see, there's another one, track 11 on side 2. Longboards are wrongboards, making fun of guys that ride longboards instead of riding a proper skateboard.
Right.
When I was in college, that was a big contention. Like you'd have like the skateboarder kids, like the heavy metal and punk rock kids, and then you'd have like the hippie guys that rode the long skateboards. But I was friends with both of those guys, so I never discriminated there. But I might have made fun of a few longboarders in my day, but now I think longboards are cool, so it's come full circle. So this is on clear red vinyl, see-through. Yeah, this was another great band who's no longer around, but guys in this band, the singer in this band has gone on to do many other bands, and has actually a couple other records I've shown on the show before of he's been the lead singer from. But yeah, this is a great band. Track number 4 here. I'm not your boy next door. I'm an evil fucking psycho. That's a good one.
Empower violence, you say?
Power violence. Track 20 on side 1 is "Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is and Blow Your Brains Out." So yeah, there you go.
I think Matt Bandy makes up some of these genres just to see.
Okay, you don't believe me? Do a search for it. Power violence.
What is a longboard? How is it different?
A longboard. A longboard is more akin to like a surfboard. So it's a lot more pliable. This is probably about how many inches is this? Well, this is about like 4 feet. No, this is about 3 feet long, normal skateboard. Yeah. And so a longboard is going to be a much wider than this, about maybe like 3-4 more inches longer or wider, and wheels are going to be bigger. So it gives more of a surf feel to it. So picture like a snowboard, but a little bit shorter than a snowboard.
Yeah, more manageable, right?
Yeah, it's easier for just to get on and cruise. It's it's easier to stay on. It's wider. I've seen even 2 hippies riding on one before at the same time.
Yeah. You see people, they're just gliding on it. It seems like you never have to push on those. They just
you can push once and go for days. And when I was younger in my teenage years, I thought those were way lame. But the older I got, I'm like, that's pretty cool. And once you ride it, it's fun.
For some reason, Chris Roberts wants to continue the skateboard talk, and he asks what your thoughts are on the skinny boards, like retro style boards. Is that what he's talking about? Skinny boards.
Skinny boards. I'm not sure. I like fat boards. I like skinny boards. I like all sizes.
Oh, hey-o. Hey, Jack.
Wider is better, though. You need to say that. Wider is better.
He says he finally made it live. That means he will get to catch Joe. Oh, Joe. Who's Joe?
Yeah. You must know something we don't.
Well, my co-host on STC Pod, I've kept asking him why he never appears on the show, even though he's a big vinyl guy now.
He's sure cranking out those record videos.
Big vinyl guy. And at first he said, you know what? I can't stand the thumbnail you put out. Everyone is smiling. So I can't even look at it. So I'm like, okay.
So we're having a good time.
Next thumbnail, no one's smiling anymore. No one's smiling. I don't like that. I don't like the headbands. Okay, next thumbnail, no headbands. And then he said, okay, look it. You guys go from 7 till 9. That's family time. I'm with the kids. 7 till 8. And then the wife from 8 till 9. So I said, well, this week there's zero excuse because we are 8 till 10 this week. 8 till 10. So who knows what'll happen? but he's
the
certainly
crazy
run
thing
out of
is-
excuses.
He has good stuff. He's showing good stuff.
Maybe he's afraid, like Kevin will call him out on some of the stuff. Like when he shows the Tommy record and he goes, I believe this is a opera. There's an opera? Yeah, opera. Well. Anyways, I guess Jack Britton is a listener to SCC Pod, so thanks so much for listening and checking in. I want to know who Jack Britton is for real. Do we know him?
Yeah, he's in the chat. He's right there.
And of course, from T-Bay, Ontario, Deke is showing up.
That's right. Thunder Bay Arena Rock. Check out the blog. Lots of good stuff there.
All right. We've wasted enough time. Time to see where Kevin is going to bring us this week. I mean, on our ramble about Joe. Nothing about Big Bandy. I would never go against Big Bandy.
Well, I don't have anything vinyl adjacent. I just have vinyl. So I'm just getting right into it. I couldn't think of a theme or anything like that anymore. So I just said, screw it. And I'm just going to go through my collection and show you everything I have in my collection.
Raw dog it.
So I am skipping some of Sarah's stuff because I don't know anything about it. So, and I'm not like, I'm trying to keep away from repeating what Bill has already shown as well. So I'm skipping a few of those as well.
Sarah listens to a lot of like dark wave, new wavy type
80s,
new romantic type stuff. Yeah.
80s. That's what I call it. It's all 80s. Like there was a couple of Aha records. I don't know anything about them. So
well, she likes stuff like she likes New Order and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, New Order. Yep. And you know, B-52s. Also, I don't know.
She should come on the show and talk about her records.
She doesn't want to. I already asked her. She's like, I'm not interested in doing it. She doesn't want to.
We're all inclusive.
Hey, I can't even get her on my channel anymore. She doesn't want to do the pickup videos anymore. So.
Oh, yeah.
And to be fair, we haven't been buying anything. Last time we went was February. So. Because we're good. We stay home. Don't spread the COVID.
We should all follow the rules that are laid out for us.
Yeah, exactly. Stay home. Only go out when it's necessary.
Follow the rules of what is available to us.
Right. Stay home and only go out when it's necessary. That's rule number one. You see, if you're going to get me on it, Bill, get me on it. You know the rules of recycling? You know what they are? You know what the rules of recycling? Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now, everyone thinks that recycling is great and it's going to save the planet, but really, it's the third on the list. Number one, reduce. If you can't reduce, reuse. If you can't reuse, recycle. Those are the three rules. Those are the steps. But everyone just wants to go to the easy one, and that's what everyone's doing with COVID. We're just going to jump over the easy ones and forgetting over the important steps. Number one, stay home. Number two, only go out when it's necessary. And if you must go out, wear a mask.
New gang sign right there.
Right there.
3 R's.
All right, let's get to the fun stuff. Records. Okay, so I'm just going with the Aerosmith stuff. There's only a few Aerosmith albums that I'm really familiar with. And the first, like the couple from the 70s that I think are essential. And one of them is definitely Rocks. I got this on discount because it has a little bend in there, but whatever. It plays really well. This is a reissue from the from a few years ago, and this one came with. It actually came like this. It's insert. Like this would be the artwork that would have been on the sleeve, but they just made it an insert. And then they put the record in this fancy plastic. Now, it's not the crappy 80s crinkly plastic. It's like more firm.
Polymer bag.
Sure. And it's like brand spanking new. It's only black, but it's nice. Very nice.
What year did that record come out?
So this one is from 72, I think.
Yeah, that's got Back in the Saddle.
So this one has Back in the Saddle is the lead-off one. Last Child, Rats in the Cellar, Combination, Sick as a Dog, Nobody's Fault, Get Out the Lead, Lick and Promise, and Home Tonight. So yeah, Back in the Saddle is probably like the biggest song on here, I guess. I really like Sick as a Dog. Well, that's like one of my favorites. But for me, like Aerosmith has these singles, you know, the radio tracks and that I'm really sick of. I really, a lot of them I just don't care to listen to anymore, or are not really that great. And a lot of their album tracks, for some reason, get ignored, and they're like, it's like their best stuff.
You could almost say that for a lot of classic rock.
I suppose, but I don't know. It's really, I don't know. It's like tenfold with Aerosmith, for me anyways. Another essential one is Toys in the Attic. It's another one you got to get. And this one is an original. It's not a reissue. This one's an original print, and it plays really well. So you got a sleeve in there, Bill. And it's one of them polymer ones. It's just regular old-fashioned vinyl with your label. The big song on this one is, of course, Toys in the Attic. Uncle Salty is a good one. I think Mama Kin's on here. Sweet Emotion.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Mama Kin's a great song.
Yeah.
Sweet Emotion was the big song on here.
The chat is chirping that it's maybe not as essential.
What's not essential? Toys in the Attic?
Yeah.
Who says?
Who says?
Who says?
Jack Britton.
Well, Jack, you're gonna have to take it back because I think it's essential. I really like it. I'd say it's my second favorite.
You think Jack Britton's a burner account for Joe?
Just might be. It sounds very poserish. He's saying Toys in the Attic isn't essential. Hey, look, we all have our different tastes. All right, this was a recommendation from my buddy Deke, my friend Deke. Said if you're going to get an Aerosmith, if you're going to get a live album, you got to get Aerosmith Live bootleg. Actually, he was talking up this album, and I went to a buddy's house, my buddy Frank, that Bill knows, and he had it in a he set it aside for me, like a whole crate of records that somebody was trying to sell, and he's like, here, just go through them and take out whatever you wanted, and a lot of them were roached, but this one was in great condition. And they were all original stuff. And I probably grabbed about I grabbed probably about 40 records. I only gave him I only gave him $30 for them. But he's like, yeah, just quote me a price, whatever you want. I was like, well, $30? Yeah, that sounds good. But this is like probably it's like we were talking about with that Crosby, Stills and Nash live album. They didn't do much doctoring on this, if they did any at all. It's all pure raw rock and roll. It's as is, however they played it that night. And you can hear all the mistakes, all the errors, all the drunken banter between band members. I can never get this together while I'm trying to do this. It's all good. There's album number 2. All in perfect condition. This was in really great shape. Like he never played it. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. A lot of his other stuff was scratched up pretty good. And then my final Aerosmith that's in my collection is Rockin' Hard Place. This was another one that Deke was talking up. And I was at a record show maybe a couple of weeks later, and I saw it there for $10, so I grabbed it.
I don't think I've ever seen, or I did not even familiar with that record.
Okay, well, this one is, if Jack Britton said this one wasn't essential, I probably would agree with him, although it is a really fun and good rock and roll record. So I don't know. I like it. I do find the back cover absolutely hilarious, though.
Oh, jeez.
The only guy that looks cool is Steven Tyler. The rest, just like what? Okay, who recommended this sweater? Like this sweater, like it looks like Grandma knit that for him. This guy with
like
his
bass player from Van Halen.
This guy does, yeah.
Yeah.
Here, yeah, this guy, and then with the shirt down, and then I don't know, like if you're taking a photo, right, and like you're like, give me a nice rock stance. Like, how does hands on the knees? Like, how is that rock and roll at all? He looks like as if like they were gonna cut off his head, you know, and they just told him to like, hey, can you bend down a little so we can get you into the shot? You know, I don't know. Anyways, it's a good record.
But Tyler is squatting on a stool there, right?
Yeah, but he still looks cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he looks too bad. There's no
like late 70s release.
This are early 80s.
Early 80s. Okay.
No, Joe Perry.
So that's before the comeback then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven, go hop on that stool. We'll take a picture. You mean like this?
Yeah. So see, that's the original sleeve, but you take the record out of there because you want to preserve it, Bill, and then you put it in there like that. That's what you do, Bill. That's what collectors do. You know,
these sleeves are expensive.
Yeah. Well, if you want to protect your investment,
the manufacturer supplied me a sleeve. Surely it is good enough.
Look, this is original. It's vintage. You don't want to wear it out. You want to preserve it. So what you do is you take one that's never going to be worth anything ever, and you put your record in there and protect it in there. And then you keep the valuable stuff nice and safe.
It's a pro tip.
That it is. It's a pro tip for sure. It's hardcore. Hardcore tip.
It's right.
Hey, you guys should say hello to Yoshi, who's showing up in the chat.
Oh, Yoshi. Yeah, I hear he's getting back into vinyl. He's saying he wants to sell off his video game collection and invest it into vinyl. And honestly, that's what I've been doing. I think the last 4 or 5 times I went to a record store, it was all with Barry Game Exchange money. I haven't actually spent money, like my own money, into the vinyl records in a very long time.
Nice.
Yeah. Is it my go?
Yep.
Sure go.
Holy moly. Let's see if my other camera still works. Hold on a second. Get this switching around there. You can see what I got, my coaster, my water right next to the computer. Probably not the smartest thing. All right. I'm going to start again. You probably remember I brought out Melanie when I was going through the M's or maybe the S's for her last name. And this must have been listened to way after that, never got put away. This is my latest pickup of Melanie. And this is a really great album. It's pretty raw. It's, to the bones. It brings me back to that performance where I really fell in love with her at for her Woodstock recording, just her and her guitar. And I'm back in town tuning my guitar. Soul Sister Annie. That is a great tune on here. Like I said, Melanie is a wailer, so she uses her voice like she can belt it out big time. You got the old budget screw hole right all the way through. Gatefold. And of course, there's another version of Beautiful People on here. It's a great tune. This is a really good one. Really, some of her later albums can be kind of mellow or contemporary, whereas this is still bluesy, folk, rocking out a bit on Buddha Records. Got a little Buddha on there. And I think, I'm not sure if this was a yard sale or where I got this from, but thrift store maybe. We missed the sleeve. There was a sleeve in there. For you keeping score. Pleasure from the Buddha Group. Okay. There's that. Put that on there. Keep it safe. No one's ever heard of Melanie. That's good. I got another one that no one's heard of, but this is the best cover you'll ever find in records. Moog Power by Hugo Monegro.
That looks like Anton Levy a little bit.
This is the best cover. Man, I want to get this on a shirt. It is awesome. So he's plays the mini Moog, and he goes to town on it with all these tracks. He does music from Aquarius, Hair. What else? Moog Power. It's all like electronic Moog going crazy. It's you know what? This thing deserves a brand new archival quality,
nice
sheet. Look at that. You got the poly on one side, and then this is like dual layered to keep it firm. So,
are those the sleeves you ordered?
yes.
No wonder you were mentioning cost. That's baller right there.
There you go. Well, I showed these last week. Now, Matt Bandy was late. Maybe that's why.
I mean, you know, I had that long climb, so
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, this is it's a fun album. This is fun. I like it. And oh, you know what? Why this is sounding familiar? These albums, because you know you might think this is an original idea, me doing this record show, when in fact, Kevin started this on his own channel, and it's an unreleased video of us doing this exact show on Kevin's channel. Me, Kevin, and his wife going through our records, and this was the stack I brought to his house. That's why they're all together.
Oh, actually, it was released. It was live on Twitch. So,
oh, was it?
Yeah, we did it live. Yeah, one and done.
That's it. So this is a really good blues album here. It doesn't get more bluesier than Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee in London.
See, the fact that you have that album proves that I don't steal your stuff, because that'd be the first thing I take.
First thing?
That'd be it right there.
On marble. Well, someone got it away from it, signed by Sandy Nichols right there. Someone got away from her. It's in stereo. Oh boy, I'm afraid to look.
What it's got insert adjacent there.
I don't know what's going on here.
Extra piece of cardboard for protection.
Okay, explain this one, guys.
I don't think I can.
I give it a little more support,
I guess.
This must be a joke Kevin pulled on me when he grabbed this from me and I wasn't looking.
If I grabbed it from you, I'd still have it.
There's the vinyl. It shows wear, but it's good. Still plays good. And yeah, this deserves its own archival quality vinyl sleeve.
How many were in that pack of sleeves?
You get 50 of them, and it was around $30 plus there was a little extra shipping because it wasn't Prime. So, and they're in and out of stock all the time. Like it's most of the time it's out of stock. This kind of sleeve.
Have you ever gone to the Needle Doctor? You ever checked that website out?
No.
Yeah, check that out. They sell a lot of vinyl related stuff, not just stylus and cartridges, but they sell. That's where I got my slip mat from, and sell weight pucks and a bunch of other stuff.
Do they ship to Canada?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they're out of either. But most places like that will ship internationally.
So these are records, yeah, I'm very fond of because I took over to Kevin's house to look over, and here's one of my favorite Neil Diamond records. And I talked about this when we went through the Neil Diamond pile of records. This is Shiloh. It's got your draw by number on there, not filled in, so that makes it worth $1 billion easily. This is worth $1 billion. You're seeing, featuring the hit "Solitary Man."
It's a great song.
That'd be the second record I'd take out of your collection, and then start taking the cap off of the permanent marker.
So this is just full of hits here, guys. Shiloh, Kentucky Woman, You'll Be a Woman Soon. It's just loaded. I'm a Believer. Red Wine. Man. Okay, come on. What's it got in here? Look at that.
Probably does.
Fully protected. Proper sleeve on Bang Records.
So is that the Monkeys, I'm a Believer?
Well, he wrote it for them.
Oh, that's right.
And this is a spectacular shape right there. Yeah, this is a great album. Great album. Neil Diamond. Can't get enough Neil.
Yoshi has a good question in the chat. I want to know what you guys think.
Oh, Yoshi asks, should I be upgrading from a standard rubber turntable mat?
I use a cork mat. Some people say that it changes the quality of the sound. I haven't noticed any change. What I have noticed is that it's not as, it helps cut some of the static, and just from stuff clinging to the record. So that's the big difference I've noticed with the cork mat.
So like any kind of lint or fuzz would stick to the mat instead of jumping up into the record?
Yeah. Or you just
what about these tables that they put the weight over top of the spindle?
So that is just, it gives like a flatter, some of them they'll actually lock down, and some of them are just kind of weighted. But it gives a flatter surface. It just all for, it's like
all for show.
Well, they're chasing the dragon, essentially. You always got to get that. No, seriously, like I remember when I upgraded like my record player, and I first heard that, oh well, I could notice that jump in sound quality, and you're always looking for that next thing to upgrade. For me, it was I went to a different stylus, and now I'm wanting to upgrade to like it's the blue. I forget who makes it. It might be Project, but it's like they have a red and a blue, and it's like not high end, but it's it's audiophile, it's quality stuff. So it's just little stuff. They're always kind of trying to get that next hit or that next, just a little bit, squeeze as much sound and improvement out as you can get.
And how much improvement do you think the cardboard bonus helps?
0.0.
Should it go back in, or
it's up to you, man?
Give it more girth.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck was I going to ask you? Oh yeah, well your biggest jump in quality is definitely the stylus. Like if you're having poor performance or whatever, if you want to up your sound game, definitely the stylus is number one. Now, when you put on the quart mat, you're putting it on top of the rubber mat, right? You take the rubber,
Nope.
or do you
Rubber
take
mats.
the rubber
Yeah,
mat
rubber
off?
mat's gone. Yep, it just completely replaces the slip mat.
Okay. Did you have to rebalance the needle after that? Like, was there a difference?
I did not. I checked the weight on it and I checked the speed, and everything was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question because I thought about that, and I had a buddy of mine who came and helped me out, and he has a digital scale and made sure it was right weight, and it was running at the right RPMs too. So yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks for that question, Yoshi. All right, we can move on and keep up with Matt Bandy. He's got a good thing going.
Sure. So I know last week I did records that I had multiple copies of, and there was 2 of them I didn't get to, so I'm going to show those today. Both of these are, oddly enough, are Texas bands, not far from each other. The first band, I think I've talked about on here before, but I don't know if I've ever showed any of their records. It's a band, still an active band, called, if you can see this, they're called Iron Age. Iron Age they play a brand of metallic crossover hardcore. And this record was it was a pre-order for this record, and I think this was limited to maybe 100 or 200 for this release. But this was strictly from the label that you could order this from, and this was on like a yellow vinyl.
And they only did 200 of them.
Oh, for this color and this. So the sleeve is a different artwork on the sleeve, and this is a little bit of a, what do we call that, embossed, where it's raised there a little bit. And then the back is, so the back is it'll be the same as the regular version of the record. But yeah, this was a special order directly from the record label itself. And I think it was limited to either 100 or 200 were pressed for that record. And you just have the record sleeve or the liner notes, shots of the band, and the lyric sheets. So this record label was one of my favorites from this time period. A lot of they were putting out a lot of good bands and a lot of good records in the early mid 2000s. There's still a record label, but it was, one-man operation, and he's since has a family and doesn't get to put out as many records as he used to. But this was definitely one of my favorite records that he put out, and this band put out. After this record, their sound changed quite a bit. They went definitely a little more like epic heavy metal sound. It was almost kind of a pretty drastic change for the band. One that I enjoyed and embraced. But yeah, this record has held up very well over the years, and kind of ahead of the curve with that sound. But here's the other copy of the record. This actually isn't. This is the European release of this. This isn't the standard release of this record either. The European release has a different color on the cover, and is also a gatefold, which has the same as the inner sleeve on the other record. And this one, I believe, yeah, it's on a black and green splatter on this one.
That's a neat one.
Yeah, I'm not sure the pressing info on this one. This was done by Reflection Records instead of Youngblood Records. So I think Youngblood just licensed out this record for this European record label to distribute it in Europe. I don't know why. I think I got this at a local record store. I don't know why they had a copy of the the European version of it. But yeah, I think I got it for fairly cheap, and this is when I was collecting multiple copies of one record. But yeah, this is another one of those records where the cover art from the one I originally got is super different from the kind of like the standard album artwork, and it's got the cool, I think you call that a chimera, a combination of a man and a like different monsters and animals. I believe that's what that's called. So yeah, that's that record. And the other record last record that I have multiple copies of is by, like I said, another Texas band. This is another Texas hardcore band called Bitter End. This came out in, I believe, 2006, 2007. Name of the record is called Climate of Fear. Has to do lyrically a lot of just how fear is kind of pushed in a lot of the media, and that's just a kind of a big lyrical theme throughout this record here. But the other copy of this that let me pull out the record. There's the gatefold, and I believe it's just on. Yeah, it's on black vinyl. Bitter End, I don't think are still a band, but they put out 2 7-inches and 2 full lengths for sure. And the other version that I got, this is the same record. This was released, I got this while they were on tour in 2007. So this was a pre-release. So this was, they had like 300, looks like here, 328 copies of this record. Mine's number 241 that they had to take out on tour with them to sell before the record came out. And it's just this is literally a Sharpie that was written on the cover here, and the back is this was, I believe, just glued on the back there. And I believe, yeah, there's no lyric sheet with this one, but this is blank labels, but it's on clear. I think they call this Coke bottle, where it's just kind of a clear, looks kind of white in the shot here, but it's see-through, kind of foggy, but yeah.
Man, so you continue to show the rarest of records.
That's the thing about a lot of these bands. These are small indie bands that they're not going to press thousands of records because there's not thousands of people that really know this band or would buy the records. Some bigger bands, will release bigger runs, but a lot of these labels too are small labels, and they can only press what they can afford to put out. And if the band can't afford to put out the record, or if they don't think they're going to make their money back on doing a run of a couple thousand records, they'll do smaller runs. A lot of times they will do a small run initially, and if it's a popular record, and if the band still has longevity, that's the thing. A lot of these bands, these are teenage kids essentially. When these are 18, 19-year-old kids. Some of them can say, "Screw it, I'm done with this," halfway on tour, and they're done. The band's done. So I've had some friends who have run labels, hardcore and punk rock labels, and they make up their money on subsequent represses of records. Say, it's a record that was popular. Years later, they'll repress it. They'll do a larger run, and that's when you get kind of the bigger numbers for pressings. But for these small indie bands that they don't do huge numbers, so you'll get runs of 50 or 100. So yeah.
Jack Britton asks, "Do you know Boris? They make crazy records."
Yeah, I do. I do know Boris, and our one of our other pundits, Jake, has shown a Boris record on one of our earlier episodes.
Oh yeah, of course I remember that.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah. And Yoshi was saying he bought some wide release albums at Walmart and no good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know Walmart had exclusive albums.
I wouldn't say exclusive. Is that what he said? Exclusive album? I've just seen like everyday stuff there in the past.
I also learned quickly to avoid the Walmart exclusive vinyl. Bought a copy of CCR Revival. First track I put on Skip Forever. So CCR Revival, that's that's not a exclusive, but maybe that print was. Maybe it's exclusive print.
He goes on to say colored vinyl presses for Walmart.
There you go. So yeah,
I don't think we got that here in Canada. I've never seen that.
I don't know. I did in the States when we went to Philly last year. I saw that Walmart had vinyl. They were selling vinyl, but I don't know if I've seen that here yet. And it wasn't cheap. It was not a discount.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So, Kevin, back to you.
Okay. Well, carrying on with the A's, I got my America's Greatest Hits. I know you showed an America album, but I don't think it was the Greatest Hits.
No, not that one.
Yeah. I always like this. This is a great Sunday morning. Put the sucker on while you're sipping some coffee. And just have need to upgrade my insert for this one. That's it. That's all I got for that. It's like putting it in a diaper. These things. But that's good. Get that one. You need some America and you get the Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I Eat a Peach. I think we talked about this, but I don't think you actually did. You have a copy of it? I don't think you showed it.
Do not have.
This is one of my favorite albums in my collection because it's like perfectly beat up. Like there's just some dirt, like some oil stains on here. The corners are still like they're just like just rounded a little bit, but nothing too crazy. It's just a little dirty. It's got a little bit of ring wear.
Mm-hmm.
But the album itself inside is just pristine. It's all that. Look at that craziness. What they would do back in the day.
Yeah. Who's the art? Is it signed by the artist in the corner there? Is that a mouse?
I can't see.
I thought I saw it in the bottom right corner.
Like he actually signs his name?
No? Okay.
I don't know. You tell me. Is it in there?
I thought I see a signature down there, but it could be something else. Yeah, it could just be art. Sorry.
But yeah, the vinyl itself in here is it's in really good shape. So it's original Capricorn label on there. This is the one that has Mountain Jam.
Oh yeah,
where
they played that live when I saw them.
Yeah, Mountain Jam. If you don't know, starts on one side and doesn't finish. It keeps going when you flip the album over. Oh, look at this! I got a non-paper one on here. Looks like I need to do some correcting.
Where'd you get that album from?
I don't remember. I think it was a yard sale. It was definitely one that I picked up years ago. And this is an Allman Brothers greatest hits. The Road Goes On Forever. Yeah. It was in a bargain bin somewhere. And I had the double, like, this is like, really, it was like, you know, $1 or something like that. But it's a double. There's your gatefold. And I'm pretty sure it's out of print too, because it's been taken over by other greatest hits since. But it's got pretty much everything you'd want on here from the early days. Original paper sleeves here. Again, on the Capricorn label. Love that old Capricorn label.
Mm-hmm. Jack Britton is asking, was Skydog on this?
The song Skydog?
Yeah, I don't know that song.
Skydog. I see Blue Sky.
I think he's watching a different show.
Well,
he also asks who's on guitar on this one. So it's still Dickie Betts and Dwayne on this.
Yeah, it's a greatest hits. You know, so it is repackaging of the early recordings.
Oh no, he continues to say that Dwayne was called Skydog.
Oh, well then yes, Skydog is on here.
I did not know that.
No, that is a new one to me. Skydog.
Jeez, we got shown.
Well, he could be just making it up, especially if it's Joe Burner account. I wouldn't put it past him.
Skydog.
Okay, and I do have the Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore East, and check the windows, check the oil, that one, but you already showed those. So I'm going to save my next three for the next round.
Are yours of that the Fillmore, is that like a re-release, or is that like, has it been kicking around for a while too?
Yeah, that's been kicking around for a long time.
Nice. Very cool. Dwayne is Skydog. I still remember I was watching an Allman Brothers concert, you know, a video or something. It was on PBS or something like that. I was so excited. I got to see, I'm catching an Allman Bros concert on TV, and it's going. I don't know if they go into Mountain. No, I think it's Jessica they're going on. And like the guitars kind of disappear, and out walks this dude on the stage, and he's playing a keytar. And he's just wailing on Jessica on a keytar. I don't know who it is. I don't think it was Greg, but I'm like, what the hell is going on? You remember those days where keytars were all the rage? Like,
yeah.
I believe he had the short, you know, super short jean shorts on, and Jesus.
Yeah, that thing never made any sense. It's only part of your like of a real keyboard too, so you're really limited on what you can play on that thing.
Oh, but you can bend the note.
Yeah, you know, I really like those 70s keyboards. I really like the Hammond organs, and then even those short electric ones, like the sounds that they can get off of those are so amazing, you know. And it was very disappointing in the 80s when those disappeared.
Yeah, for sure. Those old, you know, like electronic keyboards that they had in schools and stuff, bands are like searching for those.
Yeah. From
the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh man. We got callers just lining up here, guys. Sorry if I'm pausing here. There's all kinds of stuff happening down below.
Chris Roberts in Oakland now.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to invite a caller on right now. And for those of you in the chat, if you want to pop in and say hello, the link is at the top of this chat. All you got to do is click on it, and it'll send you into this show. And you can come on and say hi, and then I kick you off. It's no big deal. It's a fun time. And don't forget, before this caller comes on, You won't want to miss it because it gets very exciting. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. We're close to 500. Might already be at 500, guys. Don't know. What does our caller have to say about 500 subscribers to this channel?
Honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't 1,000, man.
Oh.
Hey, look, check this out. It's the Full House.
There you go,
Oh, wow.
pink ladies.
Huh? What do you think of that? Yeah, see,
Wow.
this is the kind of content I bring to the show. Not Kevin ain't showing the Full House.
No,
Or
I
the
wouldn't.
the Trailer Park Boys trailer, or whatever you guys do up there. Ain't showing none of that. This is top quality stuff right here. But there's no record, so I'm gonna continue looking on. I just wanted to check in real quick.
That's a great update by our roving reporter,
All
Chris
right.
Roberts.
All right, talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
I
was
got called
exciting.
out. I got called out for not showing the Full House. I feel really bad.
I do have to, cut him down a little bit. Chris Roberts should know to call in before Kevin's turn. It's before Kevin's turn he comes in.
Not after, right? Degrassi, yeah. Jack Britton says I could find us some. Actually, I could find us some Shit Creek. That would be the easiest thing for me. But I can also find some Degrassi locations if you want.
Just Chris Roberts wandering around San Francisco right now.
Sure, why not? Calling into this show, not enjoying San Francisco. He's calling into this show.
Appreciate it.
A really gorgeous park right across the street from where he's at there. So that's a nice little location there.
All right, cool. I think it's back to me. Is it back to me? It is back to me.
Yes.
Everyone said I won the first round. I don't know.
Okay.
This is what they're saying. I don't know how.
Who's
A lot of
they?
Melanie fans out there. Okay. Oh, well, this will get me in your good books really quickly, really easily. Let me put you off to the side there.
There you
we
go.
Yeah, there you go. You got your Black Sabbath.
Nice.
It's all got the embossing happening. It's in really good shape. I don't even think there's ring wear happening here. Well, really good shape when I take it apart.
Yeah.
It's because some of us listen to our records. See?
Mm.
So, yeah. There you go. Oh, Sweet Leaf. Big Bandy knows what that's all about, let me tell you.
My teenage years, I might have.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on, Bill.
Uh-oh. Make it right. Homes on homes action right here.
Do it right.
I bet you the vinyl's in great condition anyways, because that's kind of player I am.
You should do yourself a favor sometime and look up all the different variants to that record and all the different international pressings of that record. There's some really neat, just bizarre covers for it and different color schemes. It's some neat stuff.
Look at that one band, how different it is. What song would that be? 1, 2, 3.
That's the mellow
Solitude.
one. Yeah, that's the mellow one.
That's crazy. Jack Britton taking a stand saying Dio Sabbath is better than Ozzy.
Oh, no. No. Dio's technically a better singer, of course, but
It's almost a different band. It's almost a completely different band. It's great, but it's
I like both. I really do. Growing up, it was Ozzy only. It felt like it was a. I didn't know that required full screen action.
Yeah, you're pundit. You're about to wax poetic.
It was all Ozzy, because when you're a kid and you're spending money on these albums, it's like you're making a commitment, and you're in the Ozzy camp. But over the years, I've listened to those Dio albums a lot, and I really appreciate both. How long are you gonna make me sit here full screen?
Okay. Moving forward, we got like a personal selection of mine here. This is exciting. When I was a little kid, I've probably told you before, I didn't have a lot of music in my life from my parents, or my sisters never really pulled me aside to get me into music. But what I found in the music drawer from my parents, who, like I said before, had a lot of, Boxcar Willie and weird country stuff like that, was this on 8-track. Wheels with the Phantoms. And it's just guitar tracks, just like guitar. No processing on the guitars, just raw, clean guitars, like Sleepwalk, Walk on the Walk, Ghost Riders in the Sky. It's all instrumentals. It's just guitars.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. And I used to play that 8-track over and over again. That's all I would play, was that 8-track Wheels. And people would say, what do you want to listen to? I go, Wheels. Wheels. And, after years, I never seen it again. This is like a Canadian release. And anytime I looked it up, I couldn't find it. I never saw it in record stores or anything like that when I wanted to reacquaint myself with my youth. But then I came across, I can't remember where I got this one, but that's the story behind it. It was my toddler 8-track of choice, and it got the royal treatment here of no sleeve, just to keep things. And on Arc Records, produced in Canada by Arc Sounds Limited. The Phantom does Wheels. So yeah, it was funny how after all those years, this kind of fell into my lap. What else can I say about it? Yes, came out, produced out of Toronto. But what was funny is I got 2 copies of it, fell into my lap.
Of course.
Isn't that weird? That is weird. That's why I didn't rush to put a sleeve on this one, because maybe this one's a bit better. This one still has the cellophane on it here.
Oh,
most of it. It's coming apart a little bit, but yeah, exact same product of Arc Sound. Wheels by the Phantoms. And this one has full sleeve, ready access, ready to be pulled out here.
You should totally play some of that down for us. I don't think that would get flagged at all.
Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, it's got an RCA sleeve in here.
It's better than nothing.
Look at this. Those carols. You see that?
Oh, nice.
Some tape right on there.
Yeah. I've come across that sometimes with tape on it, and has their name on it.
Yeah, this record's seen some use.
Yeah,
it's pretty scratchy. Freaking Carol. Yeah, this one's really rough. I'll have to do a comparison of what the two are. But yeah, that was fun to find that. And I don't know if I were to play that, I don't know if you'd be able to pick it up, because the record player's on the other side of the room. And the speakers are on the far side of the room. You can do it as a video on YouTube. A lot of people do that. They'll just play down a whole record on YouTube. And I doubt any sort of copyright is on that. Hey guys, it's Wheels. Hey, why not? Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. You could probably get some comments like, "Oh man, I haven't heard this song in 30 years." I mean, when you hear some of these, you've heard that track before. I don't know if it's because they are doing it that well. Like Peter Gunn, their version of it here sounds like, the Peter Gunn, but I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting idea to try that. Can't hurt. Yeah. My record player isn't one of those that has the USB output, though. I'd have to do an old school capture of the audio.
Just stick a camera in front of your speakers.
There you go.
Well, Jack Britton says he's listening to it right now, and it's hilarious. So someone's
it's I guess it's already on YouTube. So someone beat us to it.
Yeah, there you go. That would easily got me to 1,000 subs.
But then we would be under pressure every week to have some Wheels content for all the new subscribers.
I mean, look at that artwork. That just drew me in as a kid. It's like Flintstone-y and Wheels. Got nothing to do with guitar, but it's all guitars.
My parents had similar records like that. Like my dad had a Beatles one, and the cover looked so cool. It was like a electric bass guitar with the mop top right on the over the headstock hanging there, and it just looked so cool. And then you'd play it down and it sounded like elevator music.
Oh right, yeah.
It was just Beatles melodies, but he loved it. He thought that was the shit.
Yeah, cool. All right, so yeah, we can continue over to Matt Bandy. I'll let my nostalgia subside a bit.
Sure. So I'm pull out my picks for you guys this week. I got a pick for Jake, I got a pick for Kevin, and I got a pick for you, Bill. So my recommendations for you guys this week. I'm going to start with my my Jake pick since he's not here. Hopefully he's still watching. This is a self-titled release from a band called Never Healed. They were a band from San Francisco. I got the chance to see them one time, and it was a great show. They weren't around for very long, enough to put out a demo and put out this full length and maybe another split 7-inch. But I got this one. At Sound and Fury 2007. So this was a special cover sleeve that they printed up for the show. And I believe this is Mike Tyson's one of his arrest photos, possibly. But Sound and Fury was the name of the festival, and this was obviously the year. This was technically the original sleeve or cover art for the album. You got your band in the back here and some lyric sheets. And it is on black vinyl. So this is my Jake pick. This is a band I think he would like. They are it's kind of hard to describe these guys. You know, they're a hardcore punk band, but they have a lot of other influences in the band. It's really kind of dark and brooding stuff. It's kind of mid-tempo. It's not super fast, but vocally it's very unusual for a hardcore punk band to kind of sound this way. And I know Jake likes a lot of black metal, and I can see a lot of black metal vocal influences in this band, which is really bizarre when it comes to hardcore punk. You don't hear that a lot, but this is a great record, and it's got Mike Tyson on the cover. And my Bill pick for the week is a very cult band, who is within the last couple of years getting some more notoriety and more popularity. A band called Pagan Altar. Pagan Altar are a band from England. They started in the late 70s, early 80s. They were kind of lumped in with some of the new wave of British heavy metal bands that were coming out, Iron Maiden, those guys around that time period. But they had more of a 70s doom, traditional kind of doom sounding. And these, they put out a couple records that they didn't do very well just because that sound wasn't very popular at that time. They were one of those bands that kind of got discovered later on and became popular kind of in the underground heavy metal scene. But the last album that they put out with this is not the original lineup, but with the original singer Terry Jones here. He unfortunately passed away, I believe, right before this record was put out. I mean, he was terminally ill, I believe, when they were recording this, and he knew that he was not long for this world. But this record is really, really good, and I think, Bill, you would like this. This is put out on Temple of Mystery Records, which is they're a record label out of Canada. This is the same record label that put out the Freeways record that I showed a while back. So just on black vinyl. But yeah, this was one of my favorite records that came out in, I believe this was 2018 or 2019 when this came out. It's got a song about Oscar Wilde, the Dorian Gray character, Jack the Ripper. It's very, very dark. It's not heavy, like you would think of heavy metal. But yeah, this is a great records. And it also came with a like a bonus 10-inch, which I'm not sure. This is just a single that they put out with the record. And it's a one-sided, and the back of it this is silk screen on there, and it says Terry Jones, from the year of his birth in 2014 to actually he died in 2013, but the record wasn't released till years later. So yeah, that's my Bill pick.
45.
45. Yep, 1945.
Wow.
They are still touring right now. They have a different singer. I'm not sure if they're going to be putting out new records, just because kind of Terry Jones was, his voice was very, a big part of their sound. And then my Kevin pick is by a band called Witch Mountain.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Have you?
I think you recommended them to me.
Oh, nice. I probably did. Maybe on Twitter. So this is a 3-piece band. Not sure where they're from. They might be European. But yeah, they're okay. Yeah, it's a German band. This came out in 2015, but this is very 70s inspired. Bill, you probably like this record too. Very 70s, Black Sabbath inspired. But yeah, this I believe is on white vinyl. I think this might be their only release. So this is on white, but it has kind of a weird splotch in it as well. Almost kind of I don't know if it's showing up on the.
Yeah, you can see it in there. It looks like
it
looks like there's something behind the vinyl.
Yeah. But yeah, this was actually the very first record I ever bought off of Discogs was this record. Yeah, I don't hear too many people talking about this band. It also came with a nice poster. And the art studio that put this out is, I believe it's pronounced Branca Studio. It's a husband and wife out of Spain, and they do a lot of artwork for a lot of heavy metal, mostly kind of like doom metal type stuff. And they kind of have this real unique, distinctive style on a lot of the layouts that they do and the artwork that they do. And that's initially what drew me to checking this band out was from the artwork, and I could tell it was them that was doing the art for this release. So yeah, it looks like Burning Village is the name of the record. It's their second full length. So yeah, that's my Kevin pick.
I love those 3 pieces.
Yeah, I do. There's so many bands I love that it's just they happen to be 3-piece bands. It's weird. So there you go. Those are my Kevin, Jake, and Bill picks.
Well, yeah, I wrote them down. We'll have to get after that. I did check out. You had me chase down this Jake Bug guy last time.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you, but what did you think of that?
I don't remember anything about it, so
dang it.
It mustn't have sunk into me.
Okay, I really thought that was like a home run, and you were going to love it, because I actually put that record on at work today, and his vocals sometimes remind me of Bob Dylan, and I figured that's an instant like for Bill.
Could have been what YouTube was showing me too. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll dig further into it. How about that?
Yeah, please listen. Just his self-titled record. Listen to that. It's so good.
Self-titled. Okay, let me write that. Self-titled record.
Self-titled.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He was a kid when he was writing those songs too.
This rating of the rounds, I don't appreciate because Bill has like went through all of his crap records. He made us sit through what is it? What are we on? Episode 13, 14 now? So we sat through dozens of hours of Bill's crap records he got away. Now it's his choice selection that he's showing, and this is just not fair. I don't approve of this.
What are you talking about? Bandy's showing like albums that only 5 of them were pressed, and he has 4 of them.
I know, and I would give it to Bandy myself. I don't know how you are getting your winning. Oh, that's right. This is a Joe Burner account. That's right.
I don't know. So I'm reading what Jack is writing here, and his description. I'm assuming he's talking about the Never Healed record. Black and Crust is a great. That's a great description of what Never Healed sounds like. And you're right with Witch Mountain, or rather Mountain Witch. Goblin, that would be a good comparison.
All right,
I don't think it's Joe anymore, unless Joe has been holding out on me on.
No way, that's Joe.
Yeah, this guy's too bright for Joe. I would say, look, guys, I understand you don't like the Aerosmith, but seriously, just if you like rock and roll, just give those early albums a try. Listen to them in their entirety, and because the hits do not represent how good that band is. They have some terrific album tracks, and the stuff that they play on the radio over and over again. It just, I mean, Neil Young is the same way. That I even though I like a lot of the hits and that, really they're overplayed, and there's just tons and tons of material that guy has. That if you sat down and listened to the records, they're good times. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna back you up on that, Kevin, too, because I was kind of that way when I was in high school, and when that Get a Grip came out, and then the stupid Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Oh my God! Yep. I was like, God, this band's lame. And then I heard Mama Kin and some of that early stuff, and I grew up. I had to hear like some of the older stuff on the radio, but when I heard those deeper cuts, I was like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was the same. I didn't care for them either until. I started listening to the older albums and there's good stuff on there. And if you listen to it and you still don't like it, that's fair. That's fine. I don't care. I like it.
Yoshi did have a question though, which I think Kevin's been down this road before. Cartridge shopping. What's a good budget cartridge?
Oh, hold on. I might still have. Dang it, it's upstairs. I believe it is for budget. Let me go get it. I'll be right back. Cover for me. Talk amongst yourself.
So if I could recommend, if Yoshi is looking to buy a turntable, a new setup, I would recommend anything by Project. That's what I use. That's what I have. And the cartridge that it comes with is already like top notch. And this is something I stress to people when they're getting into vinyl records. If they're just getting into it, you need to start. I mean, it's kind of, it can be, uh, you know, kind of pricey to initially start off, but if you buy quality from the start, it's going to sound better, and it's going to, if you want to get the true sound and you want to get the most out of the record, you need to start off with a good turntable. And when I first started off listening and buying records, I would just buy like a cheap Sony turntable, and I went through a couple of them. It wasn't until I got my what I currently have now, and I had it for almost 15 years, and it's a record player that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. And I always stress that to people: don't buy like one of those Crosby things that you can get at any store and it plays through little speakers on there. You need to put down the dough if you're into it, and you can buy a good baseline audiophile quality record player for $300-$400. That's kind of a good entry level, I would say.
Okay, are you ready for the stylus of choice? If you're on a budget and you don't want to spend, or you're just looking to get into vinyl and all you need to do is upgrade your stylus. A perfect one is from Audio-Technica, and it's the AT95E. Let's try to get I'm trying to get like to show the number on there, but that's the one you want to get right there. It's under $100. I think I paid $80 Canadian for it on sale on Amazon. But regular price, I believe it's under $100. So probably for you Americans, it's probably around $60. And it's terrific entry level stylus. When I switched from my old stylus to this, it just improved the audio quality tenfold. And it has the pretty much like that hookup on it will pretty much hook up to almost any record player. So there you go. That's the one to get.
Do you use an Audio-Techniques turntable, Kevin?
No, I do not. This one was to replace, like I have an old JVC. It's a JVC quartz lock turntable that I bought in the early 2000s for $25 at the pawn shop when nobody was into record players or anything like that. So I was able to get it cheap, but it did need a new stylus when I pulled it out a few years ago and I was getting back into vinyl. And yeah, so this is the one I bought for it. Now that's the one that sits down here, and I actually use it to rip my vinyl onto into files so I can play them in the car and whatnot. And upstairs I have a Fluence, which is a Canadian record manufacturer. They're actually out of St. Catharines, right on the border with Buffalo. And yeah, they're a fantastic company. Their stuff is great. And you can get all sorts of different, they pretty much just have one turntable, and they just all the upgrades for it are maybe the tone arm and the stylus. It's just the price as it goes up is just a better and better stylus. But I did an unboxing of that. You can check on my channel, Buried on Mars. That's YouTube/Buried on Mars. Go over there and you can check out that unboxing my turntable that I bought last year, I think. It's good times.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
I guess I'll shout out another YouTube channel right now. It's another Canadian vinyl channel where they pump out like 3 vinyl episodes a week. It's called Channel 33 RPM.
Oh yeah,
and they're pretty consistent over there. Always have lots of good info and do-it-yourself hacks to make your record players work better, and workarounds. And anyways, it's a pretty good vinyl channel. Check them out. But he does a lot of testing with we got the cheapest needle on Amazon. Let's see how it sounds. So you can check them out. And he's checked through a lot of styluses and cartridges. You can see what they have. Well,
the advantage, this is the cheapest one that you can get with the diamond tip on it. So it'll last you a very long time as well. So you can get cheaper ones out there, but they will wear out quicker. And it doesn't take as much weight. That's the other thing too, is like with the cheaper needles, you need to apply a little more pressure to get that sound quality. And what that does is it wears out your records quicker. So when you have something like this, it's a very light touch, and it'll last you a lifetime.
Nice.
Cool. Well, checking to see if we got any callers. Any callers coming in? Maybe we'll get them. Maybe next time.
It might take Chris a little bit to get over to the Golden Gate Bridge. So
that's true. That's true. All right. So Kevin, you were. Wait a minute. Hold on 2 seconds here. I just forgot about. What was I going to show? Oh,
there we go.
Chris Roberts.
There we go.
Yeah, check it out. It's the Coke bottle and the glove. Oh, am I in the show? Hey, what's going on?
You're
man?
in.
Hey, I'm out at Oracle Stadium. Apparently, there's no baseball today, though. So I don't know. But I don't know if you guys are much baseball fans, but this is where the San Francisco Giants play baseball. There's no records, though.
That's the best baseball stadium in California.
It really is. It's really awesome, dude.
It's a great part.
Yeah, oh, it is a great part. It's I mean, there's not a bad seat in the house.
Nope.
Me and my oldest son, we came to a game. Well, I've been to a few games here, but one game in particular, we got to do the whole fantasy experience. We got to pitch and throw on the field and hang out in the dugouts and do all kinds of real cool shit. So
nice.
It was a perk for being a manager at a gas station. So it paid off way back when. And all the free sodas. Anyway, still haven't found nothing, man, but I wanted to catch in before you guys hung up. I know the show's probably winding down here. So,
excellent. Well, thanks for popping in again. Where are you off to next?
Probably back to the other side. Maybe go to the Golden Gate. I don't know. Just messing around. Killing time out here, keeping socially distanced, keeping safe with the mask. There's nobody by me, so I can hold it down. There's no virus. But anyway, I took the bleach. I drank a big thing of bleach because the president said so before I came out. So I'm good. All right. Got no worries.
Sounds good. Let that work through your system. All right, guys.
Yeah. It's good. It feels great. I'm a little lightheaded, but I think it's okay. All right. I'll see you all later.
Catch you on your next stop.
Shows you how dumb Chris is. You're not supposed to drink it. You're supposed to inject it. Inject it. Come on.
Just skin pop it.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we move on over to Kevin. Show us more of his records.
Gotta follow that up. Okay, well, I only got 3 more records, so this will be my last 3 for the night.
Are we still in the A's?
Yep. So, because I am a real fan of the Black Keys, I even went ahead and bought Dan Auerbach's, one of Dan Auerbach's solo records. And I do like that cover. It's very 70s Stephen Stills like. But this one's called Waiting for a Song. And it's really good. It's an excellent 70s vibe to it. And I find a lot of solo guys, when they do a solo record, it sounds just like they're like when they're with the band. And it makes me wonder sometimes why they'll do a solo record. But this one is totally different. Tom Petty. Yeah, Tom. How can you tell the difference between Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers? Even Mick Jagger, a lot of his solo stuff just sounds like the Rolling Stones to me. Or there's tons. Can you imagine Lemmy doing a solo record? Like Lemmy is Motorhead, But everything about this just has that nice 70s vibe, even the label.
I actually prefer that stuff over the Black Keys.
Yeah, I could see that if you're you know, if you're not a fan of Black Keys or whatever. It's a totally different style. And this did come with a poster. I'll get it here. Just give me a second. It's pretty much just the photo on the cover. Right there. I don't have much Dan Auerbach stuff, so maybe I should put it up. Then you got your lyrics on the back. Yep. Yeah. So this was a really good find. I found this on sale. A couple of it was Record Store Day, actually. I think a couple of years ago, and they had this on sale. And I was like, oh man, it's Record Store Day. This is not a Record Store Day exclusive, but what the heck? I think it was $16.99. And I've given it quite a few spins, so it's paid off. I forgot to put that in there. I gotta do that later. And at the risk of, I'm pretty sure Bill's gonna have these records, but what the heck? I thought I'd pull them out anyways. Here's my band, the band by the band, the album, the band,
Beauty.
band, the band, the band. There's the back of the band, and this is the one to get. I think it's got the night, the old the heck. Next name of that song. The night the old whiskey went down. No.
They drove old
The night they drove old Dixie down. That's the one. That's a good one. Rag Mama Rag up on Cripple Creek. That's just a cool cover. Like those are some cool guys. Like you look at that, and that's like what every other band is trying to emulate. You know, they're trying to emulate that. That's what they want to look like. But the band pulled it off, man. They were the originators. You got original paper sleeve in there. And this plays like a beaut. It's got some dust on there. And it's worn down by many plays, but it still plays really nice. It's a really great record. I love it. It's one of my favorites. Color, even the color. Like it's a brown sounding, like it just looks brown and it just sounds brown. Brown sounding album.
Does it hit the brown note?
Got that deep brown sound to it. And then my final record
from pink.
This is the big one. This is the Last Waltz. It's a very, it's not crazily packaged together or anything like that. It did come with this book with all the some photos in there, and
yeah,
it's mostly fun. Yeah.
You get to see the banquet they had before the concert.
It's got Bob Dylan in here for some reason. Yeah, that's right. They had a meal, right?
Yeah, Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
That's cool.
But yeah, if you haven't seen the movie The Last Waltz, you really owe it to yourself. But yeah, it's just packaged like that. I don't know if they're all like that or if just mine is. It's just like a cheap packaging.
Yeah, you must have a re-release or something.
Yeah, I think so. It's got 3 records in there, but all the records are in really good shape, and it sounds fantastic. So, and I probably didn't pay too much for it because it is a re-release. But I'm not going to show them all. Just that, trust me, they all sound great. But that was a fantastic show, fantastic listen. I'd love to get like if they ever re-release it with everything, you know, all the stuff that didn't make it into the film and all that. That'd be the set to get at some point.
Yeah, he did do that
on CD, right? Like it's on,
right,
yeah, but not vinyl, as far as I know.
Jeez, no, that would be massive.
Yeah, it would be. And it's probably why it hasn't happened. That would be like some band's full discography would be the same size. But that's it. That's it for me tonight.
So what about The Last Waltz? You are the YouTube's #1 Blu-ray channel. Have you got the latest and greatest version of The Last Waltz? Like a 4K special?
I don't know if it's actually come out on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure I still have my DVD copy.
There's got to be a Blu-ray. There's got to be a Blu-ray.
There's definitely not a 4K. I'd have to go look. I can't remember. I can't remember what I have for that. It's been a long time since I watched it anyways. I remember going to the theater to see it. We saw it in the theater. Remember that?
Were you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I was there. It was so memorable. It was of course, it wasn't the original when it came out in 76.
Yeah.
Or 78, I guess. But yeah,
is that the show where it was they screwed up the audio or something when it started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
We're going to see The Last Waltz in the movie theater, and we drove an hour to get there, and the projectionist screwed up the audio of the first reel. We're like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Yoshi's filling us in that Bob Dylan was in there because he was friends with the band, turns out.
I was trying to get Bill going, Yoshi. I was only teasing.
And yeah, he talks about the special on Hulu right now of the band, which must be We Were Brothers, or
yeah, I have that on my PVR too. I need to watch that.
Yeah, do it. Okay, yeah, we're winding in to the final here. I guess I gotta crack through a whole bunch. All right, Matt Bandy, how you holding up?
I'm holding up good.
Good. It's usually about this time in the show we hear like squishy sounds from under your camera. So.
It was the damn dog. My dog was right by it.
All right. So you guys know I listen to a lot of Grateful Dead and collect them. I think I was at Value Village like last year, and this was there, and I'd never seen this one. This is called Vintage Dead from Sunflower Records. Sunflower Records. And it's recorded live at the Avalon Ballroom in San Francisco in '66. So early on. And Pigpen's still there. This album's in great shape. It is manufactured by MGM Record Corporation. So at first I thought it was a bootleg or something. But no, it's an actual authorized album. I just didn't know anything about it. I don't even know what Sunflower Records is, to be honest with you, if I could be honest. Got a nice sleeve in there. Of course, on the cover here, that's their famous skeleton. They call that Skullfucker.
66.
Sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
That must have been like when they still sounded like the Beatles clone. Like they weren't, they didn't sound exactly like the Grateful Dead yet. Did I just insult you or what? Early on, they were like more like a traditional '60s rock band. They weren't.
I guess very harmonious and I don't know, but they were doing the acid tests and all that. They were still pretty out there.
All right.
Look at this. This is in great shape. This is from Value Village, so it's so surprising and such a lucky find to find that. So it's got a look at that sleeve. It's got the poly line in there. That's what you want. Okay, move on. Oh, here's a neat one, guys. Me and Kevin work in broadcast, and Kevin is so old he can remember like the audio guys, when they needed to play like a voiceover or whatever, they'd have to stick a piece of record on a turntable and turn it. And broadcast programmers got these official discs. Station property, not to be removed. Do not remove. The highest standard in high fidelity. So these are like broadcast masters of these, selection of hits from these artists like Louis Armstrong and the famous Arthur Tracy.
I like how they fill in like a little write up there for the DJ to talk up.
Yeah.
Nice little short little thing for them to say.
Just enough to hit the post on.
Yeah.
And then you can write your notes on there, but do not remove. Station property, guys. So I don't know where I found this.
I'm kind of confused on what is this?
I don't know if a station would authorize a certain artist to be put, like, to press their own discs for them to play back, artists that fit their brand, or if the record labels put this out for the radio stations. But yeah, these are broadcast masters.
I would guess that's what record labels put out for the stations. Like, hey, play these songs kind of thing. Because they would, like, if all the artists are on the same label,
Oh, there's stuff in here. Look at that.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
It's a wild one, eh? So that's what the label looks like. Yeah, so the program director would give this to Johnny Fever and say, just play this. Don't go doing other shit.
Yeah. Johnny Fever wouldn't have that.
I don't know if this stuff relates to what's here, but oh, yeah, okay. Look at this.
Price list.
Audio fidelity, stereo disc, 12-inch stereophonic long playing records, suggested list price $6.95. Yeah, it's all instrumental stuff. Accordion, Dukes of Dixieland. There's the monaural price list. Oh, there you go. Body Western songs. You can see that. Body Western songs.
Okay.
That Oscar brand, he was a wild one. Yeah, Louis Armstrong, Satchmo plays King Oliver. Let's see. Maybe this will explain. It's from New York, High Fidelity Records. Yeah, that's just more of the
buyer stuff.
Yeah, so I guess Kevin's right. It's just the record label pumped this out and gave it to the radio stations. And then made it seem like it was super high quality.
I'm surprised, though, that they were charging money for it, though. Like, you'd think they would just give them to the stations.
Hey, you ain't getting Johnny Pulio and his harmonica gang for free. Okay.
Well, if they wanted them played on my station, they better be giving it to me for free.
Bagpipes, the 9th Regimental Band. That was a good one. That was a good one. And then they got 7.5-inch stereophonic tape for sale as well. A little bit more pricier. Anyways, that's neat. I thought that was neat. Okay.
There you go.
There's Crosby, Stills, Nash. That's the one to get. That's their first one.
It's on my want list.
driving around Laurel Canyon, found this house. By the way, have you guys watched that Laurel Canyon show yet? 2 episodes.
No.
It's great. It's great. This got wooden ships on it. Marrakesh Express.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy in the window?
I don't know. It's probably the guy whose house they got parked in front of.
Probably.
Oh, wait. You know what? This is boring when I don't get to see you guys. There we go. On Atlantic. Not too shabby. It's a good one. Oh, I mentioned these guys before. I don't know. I drew a bunch of blank looks from you guys when I brought it out last time. Dr. Dog.
Yeah, not familiar.
Don't know.
Dr. Dog. Live 2. Like I said, I heard them on Conan, or I'm pretty sure it was Conan. And they sounded a lot like a Neil Young kind of vibe. And yeah, pretty tight. Let's see what's in here. A product of We Buy Gold Records. Yeah, straight up black. Check them out when you get a second. Why not? Wouldn't kill you. Joe Cocker. Who doesn't like Joe Cocker?
Everyone loves cock.
It's at the gun show.
The 2-discer.
2 records, yeah.
It's on that one.
Honky Tonk Woman, Crimey River, Bird on Wire, Feeling All Right. Look at the band. It's got some talent on
Leon
there.
Russell?
Leon Russell, Don Preston, Jim Gordon, Jim Keltner on drums, who was a traveling Wilbury. Bobby Keys on tenor sax.
Don Preston, is that the one that was on the Beatles records? Or was that Bobby Preston?
No, that's Billy Preston.
Billy Preston. All right. Too many Prestons. Wow. I like that.
I don't know. Can you see that?
Mm.
Mad Dog Diary. And this is signed by, can you see that? Beth Kidd, 1976.
Wow. The Beth Kidd.
Yeah. So he talks about all the people joining the band on here. It's kind of nice. I'll take a little gander at got well sleeved up here.
He had quite the career just covering other artists. That's
Jesus, but like no one else could. Well, you know, Santana did it too, right? Where Santana could completely revamp a song.
Johnny Cash.
True.
A few artists that could do it.
But yeah. Of course, I hope you guys have all seen you know, Saturday Night Live, where they parody Joe Cocker. It's the greatest. John Belushi as Joe Cocker, singing to Joe Cocker.
Yeah, well, that was what made it amazing, is that Joe Cocker was right there singing.
Is it? Doesn't he move like that because he has cerebral palsy?
I don't know.
Because I think that's what I've heard. Because that's why he has kind of that weird. It's like a tone that's not tone as in sound, but muscle tone. That people with cerebral palsy have kind of a distinct way of movement, and I think that's what I've heard, that he had cerebral palsy, and that's why he moved that way while singing. But I have seen that SNL skit. That's funny.
Well, we need a fact check on that.
I'm looking it up right now because I always assumed that was just the way he sung.
Me too.
Like,
we could be way in the wrong for liking that.
Yeah, now we're both going to hell.
We're both fired.
Great.
While Kevin's looking that up, I will continue with you guys hear me talk about Woodstock all the time. Got this album, Woodstock 2. So this fills in some more artists who were not featured in the first one, and little kids with their ding-dongs hanging out.
Sorry.
Matt Bandy went full Bandy on that reaction.
So,
I did. Oh, my nose.
So like I said, that's where you're going to find your Melanie right there in Mountain. Paul Butterfield Blues Band.
Oh, so Mountain did actually make an album. I thought like they were not allowed in like
that's
their
right.
Manager made sure that they weren't in the movie and were not on the album.
Yeah, they said no. I think they're in the director's cut of the movie too, if I could be honest with you. This is a nice like cardboardy cover. It's not glossy, matte finish. Yeah, you got some Hendrix on here, Jefferson Hair Pie, Crosby, Stills, Melanie, Mountain, 2 Mountain, Canned Heat, Audience During the Rainstorm. Get some more images. By the way, stay tuned to this channel, guys, because there will be a Woodstock Director's Cut Blu-ray unboxing coming up. That's going to be very exciting because there's cool stuff inside that.
I don't see anything here that says Joe Cocker has cerebral palsy, so that might be an old wives' tale.
It might be, yeah. I
Look at this. This is some classic Bill move right here. You got your album, and you got the sleeve.
Right beside the sleeve. Sleeve adjacent.
Yeah. Wow, what the hell happened to this? You guys seeing that?
No.
Someone freaking scribbled all over it.
Now I see that.
What the heck? Well, this sign's fine. The Hendrix side is fine. Someone had real umbrage with Jefferson Airplane and Paul Butterfield. And get that. See, this sleeve is tricky. That's the thing. We'll have to. Oh, yeah. Same with this side. Wow, that who gets that big band right there? Oh, that's the Audience During the Rainstorm. Has a huge final track. Oh, these have been through some. Listen to your digital copies of this, folks. Note to self. Yeah, let's put that right back in there. How we doing, guys? Are we doing all right?
Okay.
Can I finish off 4 more quick?
Go for it.
Some Neil Young Harvest. You gotta have this one.
Mm-hmm.
You just freaking gotta. Talk about a cardboardy cover. That's what this is all about. Got a nice, it's hidden in there, nice sleeve. And this has the, if I recall, yeah. Again, nice little cardboardy parchment kind of pull out with all your lyrics on there. And this is gatefold.
What a knob.
Look at that. It's like Daryl Hannah took that picture. It's so artistic. I love her work. Another Simon and Garfunkel, Sounds of Silence. I love these two. Love these two working together. Copyright 1965. Stereo sound. Wonder if this is an original pressing. Looks like someone washed this. Got some Spoogazy on there. Anyways, that's good. Good shape. I don't know. That's the light. Still with some Simon Garfunkel. You got the Graduate soundtrack. What do you think about that?
Very good.
The leg. More importantly, the 50 cents.
It's wild how cheap they used to be.
Original soundtrack recording stereo. Got a nice sleeve in there. It's in the sleeve, which is nice. Well, that's a nice looking disc right there.
Is it all Paul Simon and Garfunkel, or is there some instrumental jazz on that too? I'm pretty sure they did the whole soundtrack, right?
Yeah. Looks like it's all them.
Was it original songs they wrote for the soundtrack, or would they just take songs they already wrote and put it on the soundtrack?
I think it's both, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I think, yeah.
You got Sounds of Silence on here. That's not for the film, but of course, Mrs. Robinson, that was definitely written for this, wasn't it? As far as I know. Yeah, greatest hits one here.
You know, the first time I heard Mrs. Robinson was by the Lemonheads.
Wow.
You ever heard that cover?
Not sure.
I don't know. I don't think so. In the chat, we have a celebrity, Peter North.
Peter North?
Him. Yeah, Peter North.
Wow.
He drops huge loads.
Sir, you were a big inspiration to me in my teenage years.
Could someone explain to me who Peter North is? I don't know.
Do a quick Google search, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not. Go ahead.
Should I videos only?
Should I do a what is it called? A
compilation.
Private window, or should I just do it straight into the regular?
He's famous for what Paul Simon is holding right here.
An egg timer?
Big knob.
Oh, is that what that is?
And finally, the last one, Long John Baldry. God damn it. I love him. I love him. Don't Try to Lay No Boogie Woogie on the King of Rock and Roll. I love listening to that. We have a radio station up here called Q107, and a guy on Sunday always plays psychedelic music. And if you were lucky, he would play that Long John Baldry song. And man, it's great. Seemed to go on forever. It's only like 6 minutes long, but he tells such a good story in it and pays it off with a great bluesy riff. Long John Baldry on vinyl here. Yeah. That was my last record of this stream. So that finishes it off for us guys. I wish Peter North would dial in. The link to get in. It's at the top of the chat. We could have a real interview with that guy. Did you find anything on him, Kev?
On Peter North? Yeah, he's an accountant in Vermont. That's what came up on mine. I have Net Nanny set up though, so if it's anything more than that, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, good time. What a show today. Just had a little bit of everything. So I would like to thank all of the people that tuned in to this episode or watch the recorded version later on. Thanks so much. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Helps this channel out quite a bit. We're going to have, like I said, a Woodstock Blu-ray director's cut unboxing coming up. There is also, I unbox a record that was 4 years old that is hasn't been opened yet, and I compare it to earlier versions of what we already had. And of course, the STC podcast is happening every week here. I think the recording for that, I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know. You got to talk to someone else about that sometime this week as well. What else is on tap? Oh, the contest. Dudes, if we trickle past 500 subscribers, we're going to have a huge contest. And there'll be a video out telling you what to do. I don't know, you like the video or something and you subscribe and you have a chance to win. I have a box set Bob Dylan biograph is going up, as well as a copy of his Live from the Gaslight Cafe. And if that wasn't enough, a sealed copy of the Festival Express DVD will be given away to a new subscriber. So look for that video coming up. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you tell your friends to subscribe so you get us over that 500. Next will be 1,000, an even bigger contest after that. So enough of me chatting about nonsense. I want to say thank you again to my vinyl pundits. Again, it's a privilege and a pleasure of a lifetime to have you guys share these internet airwaves with me. Kevin from Buried on Mars YouTube channel, #1 Blu-ray channel over there, Retro Fandango podcast, Film Dango, Quick Save Club podcast, Cartridge Club Portable final episode.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm
everywhere. I'm everywhere.
It is so much. It is so. I do believe you quit your job just to do this full time on other people's channels.
Really do wish I could. That'd be the best. That's the dream. That's the dream right there. Quit your job and just do this all the time.
Of course, we got Big Bandy, Matt Bandy, with us as always, showing off the goods, and you can look for him in the Cartridge Club Portable podcast, their very possibly final last episode. It was a live stream like this, and that's on YouTube as well. Was that under Curtis's channel? I think
under Girlfriend Versus.
Girlfriend Versus, yeah.
Girlfriend Versus. Look, the Girlfriend Versus YouTube channel. You can find that show there. That's where Big Bandy is. He's on Twitter too. Watch out over there. Watch out. Kevin's on Twitter at @buried_Mars.
_Mars.
Mars. Find me on Twitter at STCPod. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel to start to continue YouTube channel. We'll see you next week for more stuff. Thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks Chris Roberts, Yoshi, of course the famous Peter North, and Deke, and Jack Britton, of course, was with us for the whole time. He brought the goods for sure. Thanks for everything. See you guys next time. I'm really ending it now. See ya.
Bye.